my friends. I'm going to be pouring a Chameleon pour today. It's only the second one I've done. You may have seen the previous video, I will link it above, where I did one with mostly blues. And I liked it, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it in my show over at the gallery for the month of July. But I went ahead and entered it. And wouldn't you know it, it's the first painting that sold. So I thought I'd do another one. It should dry in time that I can put it in there to replace that one at some point, a couple weeks from now. But I'm using entirely different colors. That one was mostly blues. So this time I'm going to use some magenta. I'm using the Artist Loft straight from the ready mix, straight from the bottle. Copper, Aqua Green, violet, white, gold, and deep yellow. So, and my silicone is the Artist Loft silicone from Michael's. I figured it's easy to obtain. I've not tried it before, so I'm thinking it'll work the same, but we shall see. The last one I did, I used hair serum, this stuff. And while I could certainly use that again, I want to see if there's any difference by using this. So that's what we're trying. Well, I'll come back to that. All right, right now I'm just going to fill up this cup and flip it. Got to go sparingly with the copper because, as we know, it's very bossy, very predominant. That should be plenty of paint for this 12 by 12 deep canvas. And I'll just do a flip cup. Okay. Now, I'm just going to pour some silicone in this little lid. It doesn't take much for this technique. So I'm just going to put a dropper full in here. That's plenty. And then I'll be using a toothpick to dip in there and apply to the canvas for the cells. So there we go. Doesn't really matter what this looks like because it's going to get all tilted out, and any design that's here now will not be evident once it's covered in chameleon cells, but they will be all these wonderful colors. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the sides of the canvas. I will tilt it over, but I'll probably come back and paint them a solid color when I'm all done. Although it's always pretty. The ones I plan to do something else to, they come out pretty nice. I love these Artist Loft paints. I love the transparency of some of them, and they dry so nice and vivid. I have a lengthy playlist with them and various techniques you're welcome to check out. I'll try to link that at the end of the video. There we go. Actually, I have pretty good coverage on the sides. still flowing, so that's good. Okay, now the fun begins. I'm going to take my gloves off because I'm not going to be tilting any further. I have a new table covering here, and I'm going to keep it as clean as I can for as long as I can. So I saw a drip there. I just had to clean up. Okay, here's my silicone. Toothpick, now it's got a pointy end and a flat end. I think the pointy end is sufficient, as I recall, so just going to dip it in the silicone, and here we go. I'm going to do it much the same as I did the last one. I'm going to start off center, work my way out, and then maybe add another one. We'll see. Okay. Wiping off, reloading and wiping off probably every 3 dips. Spacing them about probably 3/4 of an inch apart, I'm going to say. Wiping off the toothpick before I reload. With the hair serum, they grew and all met one another. I'm expecting this to do the same, but if it doesn't, I'm going to come back with more silicone. Maybe I should use the other end of the toothpick. Maybe that one's, I think I will. I'm going to switch to the fatter end and see what that looks like. Because these just aren't growing like I expected. Maybe it's this silicone. I'm going to switch. I'm going to go back to this and continue and see if it doesn't make larger cells. So I need a new lid. All right, let's see if this looks different. It smells nicer. It's got a lovely coconut odor. Not odor, smell. Fragrance. Yeah, I think these are growing better and faster. What should I do about the middle there? Should I go on top of the one I did? Or should I go between? I'll let that percolate for a minute while I continue on the outside here. All right, well, lesson learned. I don't care for this silicone. What happens if I drop one in the middle there between those? I'll do a few here and there just to see. I was being very methodical about it, but now I'm just kind of going every which way. All right, my friends, I think I will speed this up. You can watch what I'm doing, but you don't need to see me place each speck of silicone. So, see you on the other side. Okay, well, I've gotten full coverage, but it's going to continue to morph and grow. All this negative space should fill up, I think. And I think these little cells made with the hair serum are far nicer shaped than the ones done with the silicone. I'm just gonna toss this. I've tried it before in a different technique, didn't like it. I don't recommend this stuff. Because, oops, where did I start? I think here. And they're just not as nice as these cells. I think I did about that much with the silicone before I switched to the hair serum, and the ones on the outer edges, they just look much better. So I'll let this sit for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'll come back and bring you in for a closer look at the final product. All right, my friends, it's been a good 10 minutes, and I think it's stopped percolating, and it's pretty fun. I do think the quality of the cells made with the hair serum are better than the ones made with that Artist Loft silicone, so good to know. I have a different silicone that I use for swipes and such, just 100% silicone that I got off eBay, silicone, or treadmill belt silicone, and I got it years ago, and it still works great. Little goes a long way. But for this technique, I would stick with the hair serum if I were to do it again, and I think I probably will. So let me bring in for a closer look at this. you may have noticed I did add some blue, some dark blue and green, just to get a little more contrast because I felt it was just too similar as I was dotting. And I think it helped. And the other thing you may have noticed, I kind of paused at one point, wondering if I should leave some negative space. But I think the cells, these silicone cells, would continue to spread out if I did that. And then I would lose the kind of consistent look of the cells. And so I decided to go for it and cover the whole thing. And I'm happy I did. I think it looks good. I love these copper ones down here. They're going to be beautiful when it's dry. So there we have it. Thanks for joining me, my friends, and I'll see you next time.